I'm Flynn.
Shraya.
March.
Olma.
Ceallach.
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to Venture Forth. Previously, you all had left the Shadow Timberland after helping out Shraya's community of elves there. You guys had solved the mystery and defeated a villain, and you guys had exited down the river and towards Addersfeld. After traveling for about a half a day, you guys finally began to see Addersfeld over the horizon. You were walking into town when you noticed farms on your left and a refugee camp on your right and walls to the city in front of you. Looking off to the refugee camp, there seemed to be a bit of a scuffle where some horseback riders were possibly intimidating one of these refugees here. The refugee was holding a bag of some sort, not giving it over, and these riders were attempting to take it. After stepping in and attempting to stop the conflict, a bit of a fight erupted, and after some investigation by Olma, all might not be what it appears to be. So, with that, we are actually starting this session in initiative. So, with that, Shraya, what would you like to do?
I'm going to look up at the person who just slashed me. I'm going to look them directly in the eye, and I'm going to say, the winds are shifting for you. You're off to new horizons.
And with that, as my staff has been charging, I'm going to hold my staff in between my hands. My wings are going to go out. I'm going to take off toward this person on the horse and wrap my feet or talons around them and attempt to carry them off the horse into the air.
Okay. Make grapple checks. So that's going to be your athletics versus their, your athletics versus their acrobatics.
Athletics versus acrobatics. Great.
And that's going to be a 4 on their
Oh my god. 5.
Oh
my god.
Yeah, so they're on a horse, so they're not very dexterous, and you just barely grab this person.
And I'm just going to whisper in their ear, hold on. And I'm going to attempt to carry them up and over toward the city walls.
Okay. As you are carrying someone who is not Flynn and not a halfling, you are going to be moving at half speed. So what is your flight speed?
50.
50. Okay, so you are able to move 25 feet towards the city walls with this person in tow. You guys are moving. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's the end of my turn. My goal is to get to the wall, to the top of it.
Okay, awesome. Next up, we have got actually the guy who you just picked up. So he is going to. Actually, this depends. So you're traveling towards the wall. How high up are you going?
I'm going high enough. What I'm attempting is to go high enough to, and I guess I don't even know this, if it's just a straight up wall around the city, or if it's one of the walls that people can like be on and like look down from. But
yeah, the wall you can see the wall has got a little perch at the top where people.
That's where I'm going for. My aim is to get to that point.
Okay, awesome. Cool. So he is gonna make. Since you guys are, I'm going to say you guys are about at this point like 25 feet up in the air. He's going to make a courage check. And he's going to fail it. So he's going to, instead of attacking you, he's going to reach up and grab at your talons where you're holding on to him and just hold on for dear life.
Good.
He is.
You know how to follow
He is
instructions.
with you on this ride. Next up is this other guy right over here who is next to March. So he's going to take a swing with his pole
That guy's
arm.
unconscious, yeah.
Is he
And that's a
is he not
5.
unconscious now, or is he awake?
Oh, he is. Oh, that's my bad. Back off of his horse. So yeah, he doesn't get a turn. Awesome. Great. Love it. Next up, top of the initiative is Flynn.
All right, so recap real quick. Shraya just
Yeah.
grabbed someone and flew off into the sunset.
They're gone.
But I heard Olma yell this stuff out about, hey guys, maybe we're misunderstanding something. I saw the person heal the one that was previously dropped by Ceallach, and it seems like she's breathing again.
Yes, she is unconscious though.
I'm holding the bag, holding my sword. I hear that. I see that. I see Shraya run away with the person. I'm like, Olma, what? What's going on? And I'm like unsure what to do now. I'm just gonna take the dodge. And
Okay.
that's it.
You take the dodge action.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Next up, Olma.
Okay. Yep. So Flynn, they're not the bad guys. It's okay. I want to go forward up to where Flynn and Ceallach are. Like, I want to make my way between them and the guy.
Okay.
It's 25, I believe, so I can get there.
Okay. Like right in between.
I want to be in between the Baned one, where
Oh,
they're
gotcha.
facing.
Like-
Like I want to push them both. I want to like put my hands against both of them,
Gotcha. Okay.
and like, so in a triangle, I guess. I know he's there, but I would like to like sneak in front of him.
Yeah.
And just like put my arms up to push both, not like push them down, but to like hold them to stop them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Make an insight check.
14.
This guy that you just ran up to, still very wary of Ceallach, but seeing you run up is taking a second. Taking a second of pause. Yeah, that's what you determine.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
That's my turn. Well, I don't know. Do I have an action left, timing wise?
I'll give you an action.
Yeah, I will take the dodge action.
Okay, you take the dodge action. Nice. Next up on the initiative is Ceallach.
Seeing this woman prioritize healing her comrade, seeing the crowd booing us, and all of this stuff, I am going to look about at the remaining men, the one that hasn't been dragged off. I guess it's just one guy, isn't it? No, it's two. All right. The one who hasn't been dragged off into the sky. And I'll just say, all right, you've seen what we can do. Put a stop to this now, before more people get hurt.
Make either persuasion or intimidation check.
I'm looking. Let's go persuasion. Critical fail.
Oh.
Critical fail. Okay. Next up is March.
I'm going to be distracted by looking over at Olma and seeing that she has physically put herself in between one of these guys and Flynn and is trying to kind of push them aside. And so now my attentions are turning briefly from this guy that I was trying to just sort of hold. Is I'd like to just hold an action. I can see that Olma's trying to get us all to stop, but I'm not trusting these guys whatsoever. So I guess, can I hold an action? I'd like to hold an action if anybody tries to do anything to Olma.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool. Next up is the riders. They are all... None of them are going to attack. They're all just going to wait. They're all going to hold actions. After that is Shraya.
I'm going to continue to make my way toward the top of the wall. See if I can get there.
Awesome.
See.
Awesome. Yeah, and this guy's just going to keep holding on. So these guys, just for simplicity, these guys that are currently in combat with you here, they're all going to continue holding actions. So it's up to you guys. Is there anything that you guys want to do action economy wise, within combat still?
Who's up in initiative, or are we kind of going out of it?
Flynn, you are up in initiative, but I'm just gonna if no one else, if everyone's gonna continue holding actions, we can go out of initiative.
Well, I would see Alma run up and like kind of put her hand on my sword arm and like kind of stop me from attacking. I'll kind of see this and be like, Alma, what's going on? What's up? What happened? What'd you find out?
I think this is all a big misunderstanding. It seems like these people are they do take money, but it's more like a tax, and they take it from the people who have a lot, like those people over there, and they distribute it evenly amongst the people who don't have as much. So at least that's what I was told. So it seems like they're not necessarily trying to hurt anyone or trying to take anything from people who don't have anything. So I think that guy over there, he doesn't want to give his fair share. But I don't understand, and the guards are these people, like, and I turn to look at him and I say, why won't you just talk to us? We weren't trying to do anything. Ceallach was offering to pay for this man's fees, and you didn't say it's not a fee. You didn't say, no, that's not what we're doing here. We're trying to redistribute. You didn't say anything. You just were like, get out of my way. Or I'll beat you up. That is not the way to do things around here. That's not how you talk to people. And I'm just really small and just like yelling up at him and saying, that's not how you treat people.
As that's going on, I'll kind of like, I sigh and I'll sheath my sword as she's letting this guy have it. And I'll kind of just like lightly push her to the side and kind of step in front and kind of just toss the bag at the guy in front of me.
I'll also extinguish my glowing arm just as an act of further theatrics and put my hands up in the air.
And with that, the woman who is kneeling down, who just administered the health potion to her friend there, she looks up to you guys, and after a second goes, what? Were you not hired by these people?
No. We misunderstood. As far as I knew, this place was only a place with those who were underserved, not people who had inequity.
Well, we're all underserved here. I mean, compared to what's on the other side of the wall, but everyone has to have their fair share. I thought you were all so you weren't hired from anyone here.
Olma crosses her arms and says, no, we were not hired from anyone. And if you guys would just talk to us when we asked questions instead of pushing people around, maybe you would have known that.
I'll put a hand on Olma's shoulder and sort of like just pull her close to me. Say, we're travelers. We thought we saw something other than what was occurring. You have my apologies.
Oh. I mean, okay. Give me 1 second. And the woman who's kneeling down there, who just gave the health potion, unwraps the glove around her hand and places her hand on the chest of her unconscious comrade, and under her breath goes, Malture. And you see her hand begin to glow with this orange orange, like glowing energy, and you can see some flecks of ash begin to peel off of her skin as the woman laying on the ground takes a breath and comes back into consciousness.
I'm gonna run over to March and the man who's unconscious next to her and say, "Hey, March, can you do the thing? Can you do the thing? You gotta wake him up."
I'm just gonna go, like, do a sigh and be like, yeah, and I'm gonna go up to this dude thingamajig, and I'll go ahead and do 5 points of lay on hands.
Okay.
Cool.
And he then comes back to consciousness. His eyes begin to open. And after a moment of panic and he trying to scurry away, he looks over and sees that the fight has sort of calmed down, and he takes a breath.
I'm going to just sort of hold his shoulder and say, my apologies. As my friends are saying here, it seems that there might be some serious misunderstandings here. We're just trying to get a little bit more information. Things, you got to admit, from our perspective, things look a little shady, but I apologize.
And at this point, the woman who was initially trying to take the bag from the man, she stands up and she goes, "We're very wary of travelers who come through. Most of them who come here brandishing your types of weapons and magics tend to be hired by people here to protect them and keep them from the rules that we have established here. So any misunderstanding was on our part as much as yours." And March, you look over at the guy who you hit in the chest, and he's like, "Oh God, that was a good hit."
I'm gonna put an arm out and sort of pull him up, like to try and get him and see if he can get on his feet, or see if he can get up at all. And if not, then just be like, "Want some water? My bad." So.
Yeah, he gets up to his feet, and he's still a little beat up, but he seems to be making his way back. And the largest woman, who seems to be the leader of this group, walks over to Olma, and she sort of leans down and takes a knee and puts her hand out to shake, and she says, "Roslyn."
"Hello, Roslyn. I'm Olma."
And she shakes your hand. Says, "Well, that was something, wasn't it? Whew. I died."
"That happens sometimes, but you're alive now."
Wow. Okay. I need to take a second for that. If we don't have any further conflict here, do you have any business here?
I guess not. But is everything okay here? It seems a little tense.
Yeah, things get tense around collection time.
How often do you guys collect?
Once every 2 weeks.
And how are you able to judge? And I'm sheathing my sickle as I do. Who deserves people's earnings? They're able to report them to you.
We have certain systems in place to keep track of whatever wealth is acquired and distributed. I'm sure most of it on the higher end goes under our radar, but every once in a while we get a whiff of who has more and who has less, and we distribute accordingly.
Aye.
I'm sorry about your horse.
That's okay.
Maybe you can find it?
And yeah, she looks around and she's like looking for it. And you guys look, and off in the distance, you can just see, barely over the horizon, a horse running off in the distance.
Right.
While this conversation is taking place, is Shraya still midair?
I was just gonna say, yeah. So she then looks around and she says, Where? 1, 2,
Can I
3, 4.
can I
Where's-
scream out or try and scream out to Shraya, or would he not hear me?
Yeah.
Like,
You try and scream out, Shraya.
Like-
Have you been using your full movement? Yeah. There's.
Yeah,
There's
I've been burning
no way.
toward that. I've been burning toward the top.
At this
of the,
point,
top of
at
the
this
wall.
point, you would have been able to drop this guy off at the top of the wall.
okay.
Right about now.
Great. Do I see any other? Are there any other like town guards who like notice that I'm dropping?
Yeah, there's
this
actually a
person on the
patrol up
wall?
on the top of the wall, and as you approach, they have their crossbows trained on you. As you come in, and you drop this guy off, and then you fly back away, and they still have their crossbows drawn on you, but then none of them fire.
Okay. I'm actually gonna land for a second, and does it look like if I get closer there? I mean, I drop the guy off. If I drop the guy off and then also like stand next to the person, I want to just whichever guy with the crossbow comes up first. I just want to address this person really quickly and say, "Is this man known to you?" And I look over at the person I just dropped off.
The man who's closest to you with the crossbow says, "Never seen him before. Get on your knees and keep your wings down and put your hands behind your back."
Oh no.
Right, I was just turning in this misfit who has been causing trouble outside the wall. I was told that he might belong to your ranks in the center of the city. I mean you no harm.
This has never happened before. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest.
Well, I very much do not like being bound.
And with that, I'm gonna just try to kick off. I acted at first like I was gonna get on my knees, but now when he says I'm under arrest, I kick away from the wall and try to just fly back
And seeing
down.
that you're flying away from the city, none of them shoot at you as you leave.
So I've just left the
Okay.
person up there, I guess. And now I'm gonna fly back toward
All
the
right.
party.
And Shraya, approaching the rest of the party, you can see now there's conversation happening. People are not fighting anymore, which is new to you.
Yeah.
What's happening? I thought... I don't understand the social norms and customs of the Earthwalkers.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
Roslyn, and I'll pull down my mask and just say, and I'll hold my hands up as far away from her as I can. And I'll just say, my name's Ceallach. I owe you a debt. I apologize. Can you tell us anything about the state of the city? About, I've been away for some time, and it appears things have changed beyond my knowledge. Is the inside of the city as tense as the outskirts?
I haven't been into the inner walls of the city in quite some time. I keep my focus out here, but more and more they're expelling people from the city and they're forced to come out here. So our ranks beyond the walls are growing daily, and it's becoming a problem as far as wealth and food distribution.
Why are they kicking people out of the city?
I could not say. I don't know. I only accept the people who leave.
Kicking people out that were there their whole life?
It seems mostly travelers and people who don't have permanent residence within the city as of late.
And you're all here because you lost your homes?
Yeah, most of us are here from what used to be the border of Ondale and Caldur, and most of us have been displaced by the war.
And they just kicked you out?
Yeah. Our homes turned into forts and castles and strongholds, and our cities reduced to nothing for resources and weapons.
I'm so sorry. It's not fun to get kicked out.
No, it's not.
Well, what now? You're just gonna
Well-
live here in tents for the rest of your life?
Some of us are attempting to find more permanent residents to the east, but it's a lot of people here. It's a lot of people to move. It's a lot of people to find homes for. So we have people going out and attempting to find other cities and places that will take some of us. But I do not think that this will be a permanent home for most.
Well, I hope you find something. Everybody deserves a home.
Thank you.
Does the city allow you to be out here? Do you get trouble from them?
The only trouble comes is when people from here attempt to go into the city. They will not allow any of us in there.
Oh no.
What do they do to you if you go in?
The guards turn us away.
Okay. Ceallach, do you think the guards will turn us away?
I'd say that's probably a safe bet, but we won't know until we try.
Would Flynn know about how to get into the city?
Yeah. So you have a set of paperwork from the Ironlight Collective to get in and out of the city, sort of like an official branded thing. So that's how you are able to get in and out of the city. Without any official paperwork or, payment to the guards, getting in and out is fairly difficult.
Hey, Rosalind,
Yes.
were you affected by any shadows recently?
No?
No. No, like darkness creeping in, affecting your
Darkness
brain?
creeping in? No.
No?
When?
Like the last couple of days, maybe felt a little more tense, a little more, paranoid.
It's funny you say that. Yeah, that's a good word for it. Tension has rose over the last couple of days. Yeah, everyone seems to have been a little bit more stressed. This morning has been the first calm morning in quite some time without any altercations.
Yeah.
Besides, obviously, what just happened here.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. It was from the forest, but we took care of that, so it's all good. Should be fine now. Do you speak Abyssal?
No.
No?
No,
Do
I
you
don't.
read it?
I don't do much reading myself.
Well, does anybody here?
Olma, let's not make more of a stink than we already have.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's time for us to head in.
Oh, right.
Rosalind, did Rosalind mention who is basically kicking him out, or was it just the town guard?
Yeah, town guard, town officials, things like that.
Okay. I wanted to just quickly kind of look at her. Is it any one particular individual, Rosalind, that we need to be looking out for? Or what exactly should we be looking for when we are in there to avoid being kicked out?
Just not making any trouble. Not. I would stay away from any altercations, but it seems like you guys might have a difficult time with that. I would just say, don't be breaking any of the laws, any of the rules. Most of the people that we've gotten out here, minor infractions though they may be, they still were enough to have them expelled from the city. From what I hear from some of the people who have been coming out the past couple of days, it seems that their jails and their prisons are sort of overflowing at the moment. So when they don't have anywhere else to put them, they have them leave the city.
Noted. Tie Ceallach's hands together. Is there any one person making these judgment calls, or is it everybody you don't really see that.
No, Addersfeld is ruled by more of a council government. There's not any one person in charge. It's a collection, and it seems that it's all laws and official rules.
Okay, thank you for that information. That helps us.
Are we all content to take our leave here, or are there more questions for us?
Please, yes. No, you're free to
All
go.
right. Oh,
Yeah, I would just ask one more time where there were 5 of us.
Shraya, where did you put the man?
I may have left your friend up on the top of the city wall, but I think they're in good hands. And if they're turning people away, then maybe soon that you'll see them again.
What's their name?
I didn't get their name.
No, Rosalind. What's their name?
That was Marcus. He hasn't been having very much luck recently, and this might be just another bit of that. But with everything that's going on, I would not be surprised if we saw him again within the end of the day.
Well, we can look for him while we're inside.
We'll do our best.
Just in case.
We'll try to see to it that he's returned to you.
I'm sure seeing his wares, they'll probably just kick him out anyways.
Oh, well, maybe we'll see him on our way.
If you see him, please, yes. Any help for him would be, I'm sure, appreciated.
Right. Well, good luck. I'll look around with everything.
Thank you. I appreciate that gesture.
And I'll sort of just lean in and under my breath just say, and speaking of misfortune, the powers that I draw from, they are somewhat discerning, so I'd be careful. The things beyond our reach as mortals have plans for us, and something beyond wants you very badly. So take care.
And she sort of gives you a wink and turns around and begins to walk, as she does not have a horse on her. So with that, you guys all sort of exit away from this refugee camp and walk over towards the main entrance of the city. As you walk up, you see these massive walls that are constructed there, these thick and tall walls. And you guys walk towards the front gate, and there are about a dozen guards out towards the front gate, as this is a massive entranceway. And a dozen guards are laid out there. How would you guys like to approach as you want to enter the city?
Flynn would probably be up front, because I know how to do this. I'm assuming, I know how to go in and out of the. So I'll get my papers ready. I'll hey guys, stay with me. I have papers to get in and out of the city. So let me do the talking, and I'll start walking towards.
Pulling up my dirty rag
and
mask.
Yeah, awesome. As you walk up, one of the guards approaches, asks for your paperwork, takes it. After a couple seconds, looks it over, makes sure everything is in order, and hands it back to you, and opens up the front gate for you guys to walk in. These front gates open out towards you guys, and the first thing that hits you is the smell. Immediately, you smell burning wood, and you guys smell sort of this ash in the air. And looking in, you see a main street going towards the center of the city, and off to the left, you see these rundown houses. These houses that haven't been taken care of in a very long time, made of wood and stone. And you look off, and one of them seems to be partially burned, as a fire had caught on one of them. And you can see a couple of townspeople with buckets of water just extinguishing the last of the flames. And you look off to the right and you see more industrial buildings where you can see blacksmiths and woodworkers and shops of that nature. And as you guys walk in, I assume either Flynn or Ceallach is taking charge here. Where would you guys like to go within the city?
I would like to go to the castle to turn in my mission.
Right.
As we enter in and as we're walking, I'm kind of at the front, so I'm kind of walking, kind of like I'm going to the castle, and I'll just kind of mention, welcome to Addersfeld, guys. Weird entrance at the beginning, but hey, we made it. So here's the thing. I have to go with Shraya and turn the mission in. If you guys want to meet up somewhere, Ceallach, I don't know if you want to take the group and go shopping or go find the fisherman or something, but we can reconvene somewhere if you have a good spot.
I think that's sensible. That maybe while you're dealing with your faction, we can go see about this translation.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll need backup where you're going?
No, it should be okay. Do you want to meet at like the temple district or something? Is there like a specific spot there?
Let's meet back here closer to the outside. I don't want to spend more time in the temple district than need be.
All right. Well, don't kill anyone.
Agreed. Not who doesn't deserve it.
I mean, to be fair, nobody stayed dead so far.
Very true. Very true. We just, I just want to make sure you guys are still here when I get back.
We could stand to work on our definition of killing, I think. Sometimes it's unclear. There is quite the veil between life and death. Okay.
Right.
So as you guys continue walking to the city, you guys split off into two groups. As you guys split off and walk deeper into the city, you guys walk through this disheveled area of the city, and it opens up, and you guys can see these more nice houses. You can see you're passing through this very poor area of the city into these nice stone houses. Looks like there's a polished marble in some of the stores, and this beautiful red wood that is making up the roofs. And the air becomes cleaner, and you guys can see people walking and trading and going in and out of shops and going home and going to work, and the life of this city is sort of a nice change of pace for most of you. First, we will follow Flynn and Shraya. Flynn, you are dodging in and out of these crowds that are going down the street. You know exactly where you're supposed to go, and you know exactly how to get there.
Cool.
Shraya, I'm going to have you make a charisma check.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
right.
Can I help him with this, knowing the city, or is this something he has to do on his own?
I feel like I'm probably just struggling to keep my eyes on you.
I'm gonna keep it to just Shraya.
Fair enough.
Charisma, straight up charisma. Oh, -1. Oh God, no. That's a 0. that is a total 0.
Flynn, you are dodging in and out of these crowds. You recognize every street that you're passing by. You recognize the bakery off to your right that you've been to. You recognize the shoe shop off to your left with the really nice old lady who helped you find the right pair of shoes that fit you just right. As she had to modify some traditionally children's shoes to fit you, but then she helped you with the leather work, and you recognize that. And up on the right has some amazing desserts. Like they've got this amazing orange cake with the frosting on it. That's exactly how you like it.
I think I'm like saying this, like thinking that Shraya's behind me. I'm just like, and over there, that's where my shoes got made. And over there, they have some really good pastries in there, man. We should go check that out after.
And then you turn around, and Shraya is nowhere to be seen.
Shraya? Crap. And I'll turn around and start bobbing and weaving back the way I came to try and see if I can find him. And I'll start like, Shraya!
Shraya, you are lost in a whirlwind of people. People pushing past you.
Whoa, God.
You are getting shoulder checked left and right, and you just cannot keep your eyes in one place, and it's dizzying.
Is there anything around that is like any kind of park area? Are there trees? Is this all concrete? Is this all like? Is there any clearing or? My immediate response is to try to find some area that's not just overloaded with people just coming. And going.
Make a perception check, or you can make a nature check.
Great. I'm gonna go nature on that one. 15.
15. The area that you're walking through right now is all stone and concrete and this polished marble. Looking around, but you do see out on a little balcony, there seems to be someone growing a garden there. That's really the only source of green that you can see around you.
I'm gonna take a closer look.
Okay. Are you gonna fly up and it's on a second-story balcony?
It's on a second-story balcony. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna in a moment of just desperation to try to get some air, I'm gonna go up toward this balcony and see what's going on there.
Okay, awesome. You go up to this balcony and it's some nice flowers of all different sorts. Looking through it, you can see that most of these plants don't belong to this area, and most of them belong to different areas around the world. And so it's nice to sort of take in the smells from all of those. Flynn, you turn around and you can see Shraya flying up above the crowd over to a balcony.
How far away is he?
He's not that far. He's only maybe 30 feet.
Shraya! And I'll be like waving my hand up in the air, like trying to get his attention. Shraya! And is there anything I can climb to because I'm assuming I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like up at like the thigh height of a lot of people in this crowd, so he probably won't be able to see me. Is there a thing I can climb maybe?
Yeah, there are. You look and there are a couple of carts that where vendors are selling different items that you'd be able to climb on top of.
Sure, I'll hop up on a cart and just continue trying to get his attention. Shraya! I'm down here!
And Shraya, you turn and you can see Flynn at this point.
Okay. So I turn over to the garden and I look over at Flynn and then I turn back to the garden and then I take it in one more time and try to make a couple. Are there any flowers in particular that are particularly brilliant or eye-popping?
Yeah, there's one that's almost like a neon blue that seems to just shine beautifully in the sunlight.
I'm gonna grab it and then go back to Flynn.
Okay, awesome. And just as you're flying down, you just barely hear, "Hey," and you get back down to Flynn, and land there.
Hey,
Great.
where'd you go, man? What were you doing up there?
There was a beautiful garden up on that balcony. I was mesmerized. I couldn't find you, and I went to the only place that I knew I could feel comfortable.
Oh, okay. Well, we can go back there after if you want.
Look what I found.
And I'm gonna show him this little blue neon flower.
That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely need to go back to get more of those. I want one.
Well, there's no short supply of beauty up on that particular balcony.
Yeah, this city's pretty great. Speaking of city, I gotta show you the place where I got, and I'll start trying to lead him again, and I'll start being like, that's where the shoes are, and that's where, and I'll just kind of but this time I'll hold on to his hand, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll just grab his hand, I'll grab his hand, I'll be like, and over there, that's where I got my shoes made, and over there, that's where they have the best pastries, and I'll just continue just to do that.
Flynn, why don't we try to go find your contact over?
Oh, we're on the way, yeah,
Oh,
but there's just a lot of cool places I wanted to point out,
Oh,
too.
okay, all right.
And actually, with that, you guys approach the front gates of the Ironlight Castle. You, Flynn, this is home. This has been home for a while for you. So you are overjoyed, and you're also a little bit nervous as to what's going to happen. You walk up, and you see out in the front is a little hand indentation on the wall, and you know that this is how people within the Ironlight Castle get in and out. So you walk up to it, and you put your hand into this handprint indentation in the stone, and you hear as the stone wall in front of you opens up into a doorway. You walk in into this doorway, and it's the sights and smells of home. Shraya, you follow him in behind him, so this is all new to you.
Okay.
You walk in, and you can see these long stone hallways with doors on either side. Most of these doors are shut, so you don't really know what's in each of them. But Flynn leads you down one hallway to the right, leads you down another hallway, and then walks up to one of the doors and knocks on it. And you guys hear a voice say, "Yes, come in."
And before I push the door open, I kind of just take a big, deep breath. All right.
How much ceiling space is there in this place? How much above our heads?
It's about 9 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna clutch my staff a little bit and just shudder a little bit as we walk through the space and try to keep my bearings.
Yeah, after I take that little breath, I'll open the door
Okay.
and walk in.
Opening the door, you see a large, looks like an office space. You see a big ornate wooden table, a heavy desk on the opposite side of the room. You see bookshelves off to the right, and you see cabinets off to the left that are holding different plants and different arcane components. Sitting at that table, you see sitting there with these narrow shoulders, sitting very upright. She's got this beautiful long blonde hair that's almost white hair. And you guys walk in, and Flynn, you recognize this as Melleru Cardinal. And as you walk in, she says, "Ah, Flynn, wasn't expecting you back so soon."
Hi. Yeah, I'm just here to, we did it. Shraya's here too.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know if we did it. I mean, it was kind of it was a lot. It was kind of a great mess. Our party for a while felt like we were a big candle burning at both ends, but we were, it was beautiful. We accomplished our goal, and I hope that all the credit is due for this little one right here. And was very brave in the face of certain doom, and my people that I was dwelling with in the forest could never be more grateful to the collective you have here and for sparing this little one to come help.
And she looks down at her papers in front of her, and she grabs a quill, and she goes, "That's interesting. I just want to note a couple words that you said there. You said you did say big mess, correct? You said big mess.
Maybe I.
And you also mentioned having a party. Big mess.
A party. He meant like me and him. Me and him as the party.
Oh yes, I'm sure.
Like a group.
I'm
Right.
sure
Of course.
I'm sure that's what he meant.
We
Yeah.
We did have there were some others who helped us that seemed to join us halfway through our journey. That were very. They're
It was
outside.
mainly some of the towns people in his village that came to show us where some of the stuff was.
Needed,
But it was
help?
just.
It was a great evil. It was a great evil, and it took every ounce of strength to overcome.
Yeah, and and we solved it. I mean, it was a big mess, but it's not a mess anymore. We fixed it. Just Shraya and I, and then maybe a little bit of help from the townsfolk, just for directions.
Needed the help of commoners. Okay. This is interesting. Do you have any proof of the evil that you vanquished?
Proof?
Shit.
Yes. Trophy, whatever you might call it.
There were artifacts that we left behind. It seemed
fantastic. Then you'll be able to hand those over and show them as proof.
they were the part of the evil that was consuming the area seemed to be intertwined with these objects, so we had no choice but to leave them. However...
Oh, so you left objects of great evil behind. That's also very interesting. I will also take note of that.
My wing, and I'm gonna grab the little dark crystals that have been there the whole time. I'm gonna hold them out, and I'm gonna say,
These particular items, though, seem to have some sort of dark energy contained within them. Not sure if it was related, but they seem to have some awful things possessing them as well. And I'm looking at them, and have they been changed? Or do
they
just
have
look
not
like
changed,
rocks?
but
Okay.
Flynn, make an insight check for me.
Yeah, also, did I put something in that box that I had?
And
Can't
and
remember.
who has the bracer? BT Dubs. Not to metagame too hard, but doesn't
do I?
Flynn have the
I believe
bracer?
Flynn
I think I
has
still
the
have
bracer.
it.
Yeah.
If I do, I'll pull that out. But I'll do the insight check first.
Yeah,
But
do
yeah,
the
once
insight
you
check.
saying that. Okay. That is a 13.
So yeah, do you pull the bracer out?
Yeah, I'll go into my bag when Shraya mentions artifacts. I'll go in my bag. I'll grab the bracer. Yeah, this is something that we found that seemed to hold a lot of sway in there, and there was a puzzle we had to solve, and Shrine and I solved it, and mostly me, and we got this, and this is something that we think was part of the problem, and so we figured we'd keep it safe and bring it here because you guys would be able to figure out what it does.
Fantastic. As per Ironlight tradition, you would be able to turn this object in for a gold reward, or you would be able to keep it. Which would you like to do with this particular object?
Well, I'd like to know what it does first, and potentially keep it.
Well, that's for you to find out. I don't care much about this item.
Right. Yeah, and I'll put it back in my bag. So, did I pass?
Pass is so far from what you have done, Flynn. And that, I think, just shows exactly how you're going to fare in all of this. I think that's very telling with that question. But either way, you did return successfully, if you want to call it successful. You did return alive, I will say that. You did return alive. So you may go find Chath. I believe he's around here somewhere still. If you want to go and find him, he might have something for you. But for now,
What?
For now, get out of my office.
Will do, definitely. And I won't let you down. And I'll kind of like nudge Shraya with my arm, kind of like, all right, Shraya, let's go.
May the wind
Thanks again, Mellaroo. Thank you.
May the wind be at your back always. Good.
And I hope to never see you again. Thank you.
Yes.
And I'll go out, and as soon as I shut the door, whew. Hey man, I passed. I passed.
Yes. Congratulations to you.
Yeah. Well, thanks, man. She's scary to talk to, but I think I'm really coming over and coming around. I think she's starting to like me a little bit.
With any luck, I don't understand the customs as well as I could, but I think you made some sort of goodwill, albeit we'll just call them baby steps, or in your case, just steps.
I'm gonna let that go because I'm just too excited. Because that means that I get some cool stuff now. So I don't know if you're allowed to come with me. But let's go check in with Chad, and I'll lead him that way. Would I know if I'm allowed to bring him along, or is this something I need to do alone?
I mean, you can definitely bring him through the castle. You don't know exactly when it's going to be sort of your independent time.
Okay, well, I'll just head that way then.
Okay.
With him.
So you and Shraya head down, again, another long hallway, and you guys open a door on your right, and it opens up into this large courtyard area. This is the center of the castle, and it's sort of an open air courtyard in the middle here. You see set up all sporadically everywhere. This is probably like 100-foot circle. You see sporadically set up combat dummies, and you can see some of them off to the left are a little bit more elementary. They're just sort of like sacks set up there. And then you can see off to the right, you can see some like more ornate wooden statues that have these iron sort of holes coming out of them. Flynn, you know these as the more advanced combat dummies, to where magic effects and spells will protrude from these dummies as well. And in the middle of 5 of these practice dummies, twirling in and out and moving, stepping in tandem with some of these dummies, making strikes here and there, and then taking a massive sword out from behind his back, lopping off the head of one of these dummies, you see a hulking red dragonborn. And you see his muscles like are ripping through his shirt. This is a massive dude. And Shraya, you immediately like see this red dragonborn, and this is a ferocious warrior. You can tell right away. He, with one move, turns and lops off one of the heads of these combat dummies, and then turns around immediately, and from his mouth, fire spews out and lights up another one of the combat dummies. And you see across the courtyard is your combat teacher, Chath.
I'm like, as soon as I see him, I'll just start running up to him like, Chath, I passed. And I'm like all my stuff is like jangling, and like I'm holding onto my sword as it's like kind of dragging on the floor. And I'm like, Chath, I passed. And I'm just run up to him. Come on, I did it.
And he pushes two of the combat dummies away and walks up to you and leans way down as this guy's like 10 feet tall. He goes, all right, give me some. And he reaches out his hand to give you a high five.
Yeah, I'll give him a good high five. Man,
how was it?
Man, it was hard. I think Melrose still doesn't like me though.
Yeah, she doesn't like anyone.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, she said I passed, so I guess that means I get to do the ritual, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you haven't done that yet. Did you just get back?
I just got back.
Oh man. All right. Yeah, let's get you started.
All right. What do I do? This is Shraya. He's the person I helped to fix the problem, and he's kind of been tagging along with me, and we have a party together. Because you told me to, kind of get that together, but they're kind of somewhere else.
Oh, amazing. Hey, Shraya, how's it going?
Greetings, Earthwalker. What's your name?
Right. My name's Chath. I've known Flynn here for quite some time. So, hey, you want to get started on that?
Yeah. Can Shraya come to watch?
I don't think he can be in the room for this part.
Oh.
He can come. I can hang out with him for a little bit. He seems like a cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He can fly.
Oh, no shit. That's what those wings are for.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, I don't know, Shraya, can you want to hang out here, and then I'll just come back when the ritual's over?
Yes, I think I could hang here for a bit.
I'm going to look around the courtyard and just take it in.
All right. It's you and me, my man.
Let's do it.
All right. And with that, we're going to cut back real quick to March, Olma, and Ceallach. As you guys are heading through the city, is there anywhere that you guys would like to go specifically?
I'd like to sort of like gather the 3 of us into a shaded area and just have a bit of a powwow. So, March, explain to me. You don't have to share the ins and outs of your relationship. That seems private. But how is it that this girl knows nothing of the gods? Have you not taught her anything?
I mean, Ceallach, have you seen her? do you feel you can really, quote unquote, teach Olma anything?
She's one of the brightest children I've ever met.
Olma, yeah, and she learned all of that on her own. She learned everything on her own. All of her.
Am I hearing? I can hear all this, right? You're just talking in front of me?
And also, you can just ask her.
I didn't learn on my own, per se. Yeah. But where I was, they didn't really talk about it. It just wasn't really important.
Well, from what I understand, our best hope of getting our questions answered with any amount of adequacy would be to ask people who may be dressed like me, but probably cleaner and maybe happier in appearance. So that is where I think we should go. But I think it might be worth explaining a bit about, what's been going on for the last 30 years or so, so that you're not going in unarmed, as it were.
Sure. I mean, it's always been like this, though, right? I mean, as far as I understand, I guess if it's been 30 years, yeah, that makes sense. As far as I know, it's always been like this.
Yes.
Also, like, we were in the mountains, so it didn't really affect us.
I see. The mountains where? Do you know?
Yeah, like that way. And I just point to the east-ish area. The east.
Do I
Correct,
know
DM?
which region of mountains she might be referring to?
That,
where?
Let me see.
I'm pointing towards the Raging Peaks.
That would actually be to the west.
Yeah, that way. You know what? You're right. Yeah, that way.
And
to the west.
do I know if it would be, like, which country it would be in?
Yeah, you guys are on, like, pretty much the westernmost border of Ondale. The only place that it could be would be Caldor.
Right. Well, you might find it interesting to know that before there were mountains there, nobody knows what was there. And the reason those mountains exist is because of a god named Fenra. And she birthed that land. And she's a very powerful and just god, very concerned with things being aggressively right and wrong. Does that make sense to you?
A woman birthed a mountain.
Aye, that tracks. It's mostly right. And
does that happen often?
Should
I be worried about that?
I would not be concerned necessarily about that exactly. There's many things to be concerned about regarding the gods, but that is not one of them. So, you have Fenra to thank for those mountains, and for the forests that we've recently been inside of. Many, many, many forests, but especially the Freywood. You can count on Ildoria for that. She was the one to create that region. And as it extends, I'll try to keep this brief as I don't want to be in the city longer than we have to.
You see Alma's face, like, glazing over as you're explaining just names and things and
At the mention of Fenra, as you're having this conversation with Olma, I physically bristle. And I kind of kick a rock and start to try and tune you out slightly and just, yeah. You can have a physical reaction to that.
And for the place we're in now, Ondale, a old dwarven god named Atir was responsible for that. So, as you're probably getting now, Olma, I'm, like, completely ignoring the fact that she is glazed over. As I'm sure you're gathering and gleaning from this, everywhere on this world has had some progenitor, some great being that is responsible for its creation and its protection. And those are the old gods, Ildoria, Fenra, Laurus, Atir. And at the top of them all, the sun and the moon and the stars is Femir, the Lady of Light.
Those are the old gods?
Those are the old gods. And those, and I sort of gesture to the skyline of temples that we see as the temple district begins to like overlap with the place we're in now, are represented by temples in this district, and men like myself. Although, like I said, probably not quite like myself. And those people, just like me, has dedicated their lives to studying the ways of the gods and the ways of the things that the gods have qualms with, which I think might be where the answer lies with this abyssal text.
So, if there are old gods, why do we need new ones?
Ceallach blanches and just like his face just like freezes. That's a good question, Olma. And that's what we're here to find out, to some extent. So, if you'll be my representative, no offense, Marge, who I imagine has her back turned.
Oh no, I'm muttering. I'm literally talking to myself, like, oh gods, no, kiss with new gods, no,
I'll just look askance at her, and she does this, like, yeah. So I think it's okay. You have my confidence, Olma, that you can do this. Because I can't be seen in this area.
Right.
It wouldn't end well for us.
Do I have to follow a god?
The gods give to those who serve them, but they don't take from those who don't. So the answer, I think, would be no. It'll depend on who you ask.
Right.
Is this all making some amount of sense to you?
Sure.
Good.
Sure. I will talk to the people wearing robes, and I know everything about the gods.
You don't have to know everything about the gods. I just didn't want you to have to go in and be like, what's the point of all these temples? Why are these great buildings here?
Oh. Right. That makes sense.
And just, I wouldn't bring this up, but the change that's been occurring, let's leave that out of the conversation. Yes, it's not a comfortable subject for the people here.
Oh, okay.
And that is the redux of a lesson I've taught many, many times to people older than yourself as well. So, you feel good? You feel ready?
I don't remember any of those names.
You'll do fine.
Okay, so I'm not gonna be tested. They're not gonna ask me what I remember and make me recite everything, because that used to happen and I wasn't very good at it.
When in doubt, just say praise the old gods. Eh? Remember that, right?
Uh-huh.
Easy.
I can remember that. Easy.
You're a little girl. No reason you should have all of the names and locations categorically memorized.
I mean, I could write them down maybe. If I write them on my hand, then I can look at it and see what I wrote, and then I would know.
Whatever makes you comfortable, Olma.
Maybe later. If I don't need it, I don't need it, right? If you told me they're not going to give me a test, then I'll be fine.
I mean, it depends on who you ask. Some clergymen are tougher than others.
Oh, yikes.
If
you don't think anyone else would speak this language, in a library? Do we have to go to a temple?
The temple has libraries. But, DM, would I know of a library alternative?
Really the only places that you would know of would be within the temple to have this sort of knowledge. I mean, you would know the magic shops off on the other side of the city might be able to interpret it in an arcane sense, but not like a direct translation.
I think this is the best place to get your question answered. And many of mine.
Right. And my question is, can you read this?
Yes. And why do we need new gods?
Oh.
But don't
You want me
ask
to
that
ask
question.
that?
No, I was speaking,
Oh.
in a global sense of the answers we'll find as a result of asking about the text.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Don't ask that question. Okay, I'll remember.
Right.
I can remember that.
DM, does she look like she can remember that?
Make an insight check.
17.
Olma?
Yeah, I'm gonna remember. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Although maybe I should roll to see if I remember. No, I'm kidding.
All right. So, Olma, you're going to head off and try to talk to some people, right? Is that correct?
Yes. But we're still walking all the way to the Temple District together.
Yes. Okay. Awesome.
And I'll linger just at the outskirts of it. I don't know if there's any proper dividing line, but I would have some understanding of that.
Ceallach, I'm going to have you you can either make a stealth check or a performance check. And this check is just going to be for the entirety of the time that you're here in the Temple District. This will sort of be an overarching hide, I guess.
Oh, boy. All right. That is a 10.
A 10? Okay. So now we're going to go back to Flynn. Shraya, you are just sort of hanging out in the hallway here as Chath just took Flynn into a room and closed the door behind them. So you're just sort of waiting out here in the hallway for the time being.
I'm going to set my mind to meditating and focusing very hard on the center of my staff, the crystal in the center of my staff. And
Okay.
I don't know how long a short rest takes, but I'm going to try to get one.
Yeah. A short rest is an hour.
Okay.
And I mean, this is a possibility, it's totally up to you. Attuning to an item also is a short rest. So you would be able to find out what the bracer does at the end of that hour if you would like to do that. But if you would also like to meditate, that's fine as well.
Yeah, maybe I lean over to Flynn and ask,
If you'd like, I could go to work on finding out the true nature of this.
and I refer to the bracer.
I don't know. You seemed kind of weird about the gem.
I do like it very much. I like looking at it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about. Just don't put it on. Promise me you won't put it on.
My mission will be purely fact-finding.
Okay, good enough for me. And I'll give him the bracer.
Yes.
Okay. Flynn, Chath ushers you into this small circular room, only about 10 feet in diameter. This is a room that you have not been in before, but there is just a very small circular table in front of you. There are a couple of wooden, like little tiny wooden stubs that come out of the table. Perfect distance and a perfect placement for you to place your sword. As you walk in, Chath sort of takes a step back and sort of presses his back up against the wall and instructs you to sit down in the chair at the table.
Yeah, I'll take off my backpack, take off my bow. I'll take off the sheath for my sword, set everything down kind of in the corner, and I kind of know what's coming, right, for everything in the ritual. Like I have an idea generally.
This part, you have a general idea of what's going to happen.
Cool. I'll once everything's off, I'll unsheath my sword and take a look at it. Just like mess with the hilt, like find little pieces of ink that are still kind of left there, and I'll kind of give a smirk as I think back to all the times I would draw on this thing and practice for this moment, and look at it, clean it off a little bit, maybe flick off some of the ink flecks that are still there, and I'll walk over to the chair and sit down and put my sword on the little pegs. It seems like, if that's what I know how to do.
Yeah, so you put your sword down, and the wood pegs right there, as you put your sword down, they seem to warp just very slightly to accommodate your sword being held there, and it holds it perfectly in place. You look down and you see on the table are two sort of inset areas, and you can see it's sort of resembling an arm inset into the table.
Mm-hmm.
And you reach your arms out, and your hands perfectly fit into these little insets on the table.
Yeah, before I actually put them down, I'll just look at my forearms, I'll look at my right arm. I kind of like just move my fingers around, practicing some of the motions with my right arm that I would practice late at night when I couldn't sleep. Smile. Look at my other arm. Look at it one last time. Both of my forearms. All right. I'll look over at Chaff. I'm nervous.
Hey, there's nothing to be nervous about.
I know. It's just... I'm waiting for this. Just like, I guess maybe I'm excited, too. I'll place my arms in the insets.
Okay. He walks around the table and off to the other side of the room. And the stonework in this room is a little bit patchy. There are some stones that are sort of made of different materials, and one of them seems to be marble, one of them seems to be just regular stone, one of them seems to be like a dark clay. And he walks over to one of them, and it's this beautiful white stone. And he grabs it and he takes the stone out of the wall. And you can see now, as he takes it out, the stone is hollowed out. And within it are these flowers within it. These flowers that seem to be neon, almost like the flowers that Shraya saw earlier.
Cool.
These neon flowers. And he lays the stone on the table. And he walks to the other side of the room and picks this light orange clay stone out of the wall. And you can see that one's also hollowed out. And you can see two like thin tools. One of them is sort of like a small hammer shape. And the other one sort of has a hook on the end and has several needles into it. And he walks over and he puts that on the table. Over the next couple minutes, he takes a bowl that's on the table and crushes up the flowers into these 3 separate dyes. And after one of the dyes is done, he dips the needles into that dye, comes over to your forearm that's laid out onto the table, and begins to tap the needles into your skin, slowly moving it over your skin, creating this beautiful circular design. And as he finishes up on one arm, you can see this ink is very dark black, almost like absorbing the light around it, like more than natural black. And this process hurts. Each time he taps the needle into your forearm, it is painful.
How long does this take, Chaff?
This is going to take a while.
Ow. Oof. All right, keep going. Ow.
So he finishes the black on your left arm. And then he goes over to the bowls that are out there on the table, and you can see he's made a bright blue ink. And he cleans off the needles from the black, and he dips them in the blue. And he goes over to your right arm, and he begins to tap again, creating a very similar, but also with like distinctive marks, making a blue circular design on your right arm. And that takes another couple minutes.
Man, this one feels like it hurts more.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse. Just gotta hang in there.
Is there Is the next one gonna be worse than this?
Oh, probably.
Is there anyone else in the room, or is it just me and him?
Just you and him.
Okay, I look around to make sure that no one else is in here because I don't want them to see me struggling.
It's a small room, and
Okay,
with
good.
Chathan here being the size that he is, another person probably couldn't even fit in this room if they tried.
Hey, give me a second. Let me. Hey,
Yeah, take
whenever we're
a
done-
breather.
whenever we're done with this, can you tell him that I just like tell my everyone else here that I just like I took it no problem.
Yeah, hey, I got you, man. I got you.
Thanks, Chad. You're the best. All right, ready? Okay, go. Oh God. Okay. Ow.
And he continues tapping and finishes up with the blue. And he goes back over to the bowls, and you see there's this neon red dye that he's created. And once again, he taps a very similar but unique circular design on your right arm as well. Once he's done with that, he puts all the bowls back. He puts the needles back into the clay bowl that he has. He puts the rest of the flowers that he didn't use back into the white stone and pushes them back into the walls.
Whew.
Looking around, you see that the stones that he pulled from the walls were not the only unique ones here. These walls are lined with dozens and dozens of these unique types of stones, and your mind starts to wonder what could be in them and what ritual could those be used for. But he finishes up the process, and you look down and you have 3 new tattoos on your forearms.
Yeah. Does Flynn know exactly what they do? Like,
Not yet.
not yet?
No.
All right. The hard part over?
Oh no, man! This is just getting started. And he goes over and he pulls another one. This one looks like sort of like a standard, just smooth stone. And he places it down on the table, and you can see within it there is, on the part that's been hollowed out, you can see that there is ink and a quill and also a very thin like paintbrush. And he says, "All right, now you know what to do from here, I assume." And he steps towards the door, and as he's about to reach towards the door, he goes, oh, shit, wait, one second. And he reaches up, and it's one of the taller stones. It's tall for even him. He has to reach up and sort of struggle to get this stone from out of the wall, and he places it down on the table, and you see a stack of very thin notebooks. These, like, very intricately bound leather notebooks, only a couple inches by a couple inches. And he looks through them, and he opens up one. No, not it. And he puts it back, and then he opens up another one. Yeah, here it is. And he puts it down on the table in front of you. And he reaches up and he puts the stone back. And he says, "All right, man, it's you from here on out." And he walks out and he opens the door. Shraya, you see this Dragonborn walk out. You see him close the door behind him. You see him put a bar over the door. And you see him lock it.
Is he going to be all right in there?
Man, I sure hope so.
Oh no, I hope so too now.
He seems like a good guy.
Oh my god.
And he walks down the hall and out of your sight. So Flynn, with a notebook, some ink, and a paintbrush and a quill in front of you, what would you like to do?
I quickly look at the notebook and I just kind of like flip through it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Am I familiar with what this notebook is, or would I need to know, like to look at it to know what it is?
Just flipping through it real quick, you see illustrations of different hand positions, and you see notes off in the corner of verbal components for spells, and you see specific instructions on how to place your hands in certain ways, and you can see different notes on how to cast spells.
I will excitedly flip through it and kind of almost get lost and like, oh man, this is the one I've been practicing. And I'll keep flipping through like, oh, I've never seen this one before, and then I'm like, wait, I gotta do this first. So I'll take the book and I'll excitedly put it down near my backpack. Just like sit it down over there. I'll get back to that. Pull the ink over to the side, pull out the paintbrush, I look at my sword. Look at my hand, my left hand that I'm holding the paintbrush in, with the tattoo right on my wrist, this black tattoo that's in a circle, all these little intricate designs going in a circle around like right on my wrist, on the inside of my wrist. And I'll look at it. All right, here we go. And I'll dip the paintbrush in the ink, and I'll start delicately painting the symbol on my wrist, the black symbol. I'll start painting it all over the sword. I'll put a circle here, do the description, move up a little bit, put it there. And I'll basically begin covering the sword in this black ink of the symbol on my left arm.
Nice. And over the next hour, you delicately and intricately, as you had practiced many times before, you put these symbols all over the sword. And at the end of the hour, you finish your final brushstroke. And you can see the runes now, they don't glow, but they deepen in their blackness. And they inset themselves permanently on the sword.
And I'll look at it because like this doesn't happen when I was doing it earlier. So I'm like, oh, it worked. And I'll rub my hand on the sword to see if I can take off.
You rub your hand along the sword and you look down at your hand, and now your hand is covered in ink as you rub the ink off of it. But you rub the ink off, but the symbols still stay there in this deep black. You just wiped the surface ink off of it, but now these symbols are permanently etched into the sword.
Yeah, so this sword is basically covered in these circular runic symbols, just covered from head to toe in all these little black symbols. I love it. Well, would Flynn do? I mean, I'll try and focus. Actually, I'll run over to the book and I'll grab it and I'll flip through. Is there anything that says how I should do this? Any instructions?
The only instructions within are instructions on how to cast spells.
Crap.
When you pick up your sword, however, from the table sinks down into the floor.
Oh, crap.
And the stones in front of you within this circular room, they seem to fold back and open up in like this weird dimensional shift.
Oh, God.
As the stone peels away and moves back and folds back in on itself as a door appears in front of you on the opposite side of the room.
I reach over as I'm like, I'll be looking at the door, but I reach over and I grab the book of spells that has like the hand motions in it and like my little training journal, and I'll put it under my arm. I'll hold my sword in my other hand. I look at my hand, look at the sword. All right, I guess forward from here, and I'll go through the door.
Okay. I'm going to have you make an Arcana check as you are looking.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. That is okay. That is a 15.
Okay. So you sort of take a couple minutes and you try and memorize as much of this book as you can. Do you step through the door in front of you?
Before I step through, I'll flip through one last time. I'll set the book down, and I just want to try and figure this out. So I'll place the sword on the ground, and I'll look at it. I'll take 2 steps back, hold my hand out, my left hand with the black tattoo on it, and I'll focus intently on my hand, and I'll just try to summon my sword to my hand.
Okay. Roll an Arcana check.
Okay. Oh, that's really good. 22.
A 22, nice. In a puff of green smoke, your sword appears within your hand.
I did it!
You can see for the brief half second between you summoning your sword and your sword actually being there, The runes appear in place first, and then the sword appears within your hand in this puff of smoke.
Sick. So I do that. Oh man, I wish Chath could have seen that. Oh, or Kaylin. I'll have to show them soon. I'll look at the door, pick the book up, and go through, baby.
Okay. As you walk through, you open up into more of a larger room. It's still circular. In the middle of this room, you see this like stone well going deep down into the ground. You look around, and off to your right, you see some spikes coming off of a wall, but just in one section of the wall. You look down and you see that the ground is this sandy dirt beneath your feet, where the rest of the castle is this immaculate stone. You see dirt beneath your feet. And you also, on the opposite side, see a gate, sort of a portcullis type of a gate. And you see it begins to shift and move upwards, revealing darkness and black on the other side. And from the other side bursts forth, whipping and moving in every direction. These tentacles of plants and vines come whipping out from beyond this gate, and they begin to move out and pull itself out towards this open area, and it attaches itself to the wall. And as soon as it came out, it attaches itself to the wall and completely still.
It's just one?
It's just this one plant creature.
Oh boy.
It's just this ball of writhing vines.
I'll step into the sand. I don't know if I did already. I'll step into the center of the room, and I'll have my sword out, pick the book, and set it down on the ground. Hope I practiced enough. And I'll look up at the plant thing.
Okay.
And charge in.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll initiative.
Let's do it. Oh, I rolled a 7.
7, all right.
Terrible. Freaking terrible.
Down. Flynn rolled a 7.
Let's go, Flynn.
Yay!
Let's go.
Okay. So this thing, sort of sensing that it's coming towards you, it whips out 2 of its vines, and as you are moving towards it, it plunges them deep into the ground, and the ground around it begins to crack a little bit, and you can feel the dirt underneath you begin to shake a little bit as right from underneath you, these vines burst out from the ground and take hold of both of your wrists. This plant is going to attempt to disarm you.
Okay. Is this an attack roll?
This is an attack roll to disarm you.
Okay. Okay, cool. Go ahead.
That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
But
yeah, it still would hit.
now, as an Eldritch Knight bonded to your weapon, you are now not able to be disarmed.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, so I'm holding on to this thing, and it tries to rip the sword out, and you see the black circular symbol on my left hand glow with like a pulse, and the sword stays steadfast in my hand as you see the runes on the sword also glow. Can't take it out, and I just look at the thing like, ain't gonna work.
Okay, and that is gonna be its turn. Flynn, you are up. What would you like to do?
Is it still trying to hold on to me, or did it go after?
It was trying to get the weapon out from your hands, but you are not restrained in any way.
All right. I'm gonna hit it. So what I'll do is, oh boy, it's just one thing. So what I'll do is,
you're technically currently on the opposite side of the room. It just sent over its vines through the ground.
Can I get in? Can I get up to it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'm gonna run up to it and I'm gonna attack this thing.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Sure. So I will. I'll look at my blade. I'll look at my hand. I'll look at my right hand, and you see on the wrist on the inside, you see the 2 tattoos. You see the first one that's the blue, circular with the designs, and then you see the other one that's red right below it, on the inside of my arm with the red. And here we go. I will quickly rub my thumb and 2 fingers together on my right arm, and the red tattoo and my 2 fingers begin to glow bright red. I rapidly tap the hilt, middle, and end of my sword on the flat end of it. On each tap, it seems the small rippling aura sends a rippling aura and thunderous sound transferred to the blade, and with the final tap, the blade becomes encompassed with a pulsing aura of arcane energy. And I'm gonna strike it. I'm gonna try and hit it.
Okay, make an attack roll. Actually, before you do that,
Okay.
I'm going to have you make another Arcana check
Sure.
to see how much information you got from that book. So, because you rolled a 15 before, that means that the difficulty, the DC of this Arcana check is 5 to correctly cast the spell.
All right, so I already rolled the hit, but I'll just put that aside and I'll roll another one for the... Okay.
Let's go, Flynn.
8 plus. 8 plus, so
Okay, nice.
12.
Yeah, you successfully cast this spell.
Okay, cool. All right, so, and then I rolled a 16 plus... Oh, boy. What is it to hit? 23. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
a 23 for sure hits.
Okay,
Roll your damage.
So when I hit him, the energy from the sword seems to transfer as I slash through. It transfers into the wound, and the aura slightly pulses inside this cut, seemingly held at bay. And I will roll my damage. Okay, that's this. Oh man, that's low. But I get a plus, pretty good plus. 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay, 9 points of piercing damage.
And as I'm looking at this pulsing wound, I'm like, oh, yes, it worked. And knowing how the spell works, I will... Oh, man, I don't know if it'll... I'm going to just take a few steps back if I have the movement. I'd like to just move back a little bit
Okay.
out of its reach.
You will be taking an
Purposely.
opportunity attack if you do that.
That's okay.
Okay. You move back. It's going to take an opportunity attack, and that's going to be a 9 to
Snap.
hit.
Doesn't hit.
Okay. It swings one of its vines wildly and misses you.
And I'm kind of like beckoning. I'll beckon it towards me, like, come on, come get me.
Okay. It now leaps forth from the wall that it was attached, and it is going to move its vines all the way around you, circling you, leaving you no place to move.
Ooh.
It does not
Does it move,
completely
though?
encompass you. Yes, it
Okay.
does.
It does move. Okay, so here we go, guys. When it moves,
Oh, yeah.
the energy in the cut that is pulsing is disrupted from its movement, and the thunderous sound emits from the wound as it is briefly stretched and torn larger from the force of the energy escaping. And I do some damage to it as this energy just pulses out of the wound. So let me roll for that. Boom and blade, baby.
Booming blade.
Jeez.
All right. Man. That is a D8. All right. So it takes 5 points of thunder damage.
Ooh,
as
all
it
right.
moves, you just... And it rips the wound a little bit larger.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Next up,
Sick.
it is going to whip 2 of its vines towards you.
Mhm.
That is going to be a 17 and a 21 to hit.
Yeesh.
I will... I'm gonna do it. Okay, so as a reaction, because I can stop one of them. As a reaction, I will, with a quick motion and a quick whistle, like a high pitch, like I raise my forearm in an arcing fashion upwards with an open flat hand, and as I do, the blue tattoo on my right arm glows, trailing behind and past my forearm upward, a glowing arcane barrier that holds steady around me. And I'll cast shield.
Shield. That's
Okay.
like
So the first one will miss,
The first one misses.
but the second one may get through. So as the first attack comes in, I'll do that. I'll raise my hand up, and it glows, and the vine slides off, and then the second one kind of pushes through.
Awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to roll the damage for the second one that hits.
Hmm.
That is going to be 12 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing whips around and hits you.
Okay.
Ouch.
Fighter
Yeah, that's a
HP,
lot.
fighter HP, let's go.
Okay, next up, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Let's see. I'm going to hit it again. I will. Yeah, I'm gonna hit it. So I'll I mean, I can't do much else, guys. I'm gonna hit it again. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I take my fingers and I do the same motion. I tap, 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 and my sword becomes pulsed in energy, and I'm gonna strike down at the enemy.
Okay.
Okay, just making sure that I don't have to like add more damage. Okay. Oh wait, that's the wrong dice. What am I doing? I have to roll for attack. Oh my god.
Don't roll it too.
16.
Hey.
16 hits. Yeah. Roll your damage.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, that's max damage. Dude, that's so much damage. 13 points of piercing damage. I was like stuck into it, and I'm
Okay.
like,
You can see the vines begin to writhe around. It did not enjoy that.
and I will do it again. I'm gonna back up again if I can. You said that wasn't completely encompassing me.
It is completely surrounding you. You cannot move.
Oh, it is now. Okay,
Without, yeah, you cannot move.
that's it. That's my turn.
Okay. Nice. Okay, it is going to make 2 more attacks towards you. That is going to be a 19 and a 4.
I'll cast. Actually, I'll take it.
Okay.
The 4 misses. The 19 hits.
That is. Ooh.
Don't ooh. Don't ooh.
Don't do
Oh,
that.
that was 2 oos.
Nope. No, it wasn't.
That's going to be 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Are you still
Wait.
standing?
Wait. Am I okay?
Oh,
16
Jesus.
heal. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. Yeah. I'm up.
Okay, and that's going to be
Okay.
its turn. It is still surrounding you.
Jesus.
oh.
How does it look? I mean, I don't know. Does it
You
look
can
like
see
it's ripped up?
most of its vines are now like shedding and falling to the ground.
I'm going to. Oh boy.
Oh my god. Is this where we lose Flynn?
Oh man.
I hope he's gonna be okay in there. Seems like
my
a nice
God.
guy.
I'm gonna. Like, I'm really fucked up after the last hit, and I'm just like, oh man. And I like take a second to kind of just focus and slow my breathing. And I'll use second wind to heal up a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you will.
More than a little bit. I think it's a D10. I have to look at my book really quick. Oh boy. Yeah, D10. Okay, plus my level, which is 3 now.
Nice,
Me
nice,
hit.
nice.
5, 6, 7, 8 points. Okay, that's good, I guess.
It's not nothing.
Okay, so I get 8 points back of healing.
Nice.
And as I finish breathing in slow, I look at it. I'm going to. Oh man, I want to get more extra damage. I'm going to take my action to disengage. Can I? I can't get out,
You
right?
can. You are unable to move.
Then I'm just gonna. I see that I'm surrounded in vines. All right, well, this is it. I'm gonna go out swinging, and I'll do the same thing. I'll
Okay.
tap, 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 and strike it
Make an attack roll.
once. 12.
12 hits.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Come on. Kill
Oh,
it. Kill
boy.
it now. Kill it now.
5
Make it go
plus that. 12 points of piercing damage.
And with that, you swing, and this thing goes completely limp.
Yeah.
As you have now a circle of dead and withering vines around you. The green of the vines slowly turns to brown, and it dries up and withers around you.
And I just after that happens and it's dead, I'll just kind of just plop down on my butt and I'm just sitting there breathing. I did it. I'll look up. What's above me? Do I see any people?
No, you just see a like impossibly tall cylindrical room. You can't even see where this thing ends at the top. You don't know if it goes out to daylight. It looks like thousands and thousands of feet tall. You can't even see the top.
Oh, wow. This place is cool.
And now,
after I look up, I look down at my arms.
Yeah.
And I just
Nearly
look
dies.
I look at the tattoos. I'm like, awesome. And I'll look back over at the door. I don't know if it's open or closed.
you look back at the door that you came through, and it is closed. The only door that is open is the one that the vines came through.
Oh boy, there's more. I'll steel myself and look over at the door and walk through it.
Okay. You walk up, and there is, just beyond the gate that opened up, there is just a very simple wooden door. And as you reach out, you grab hold of it and you open it, and it opens to a hallway. And you look out, and right there to your left, you see Shraya sitting there.
Hey! Hey, man! We did it! And I'll run over to Shraya.
Shraya, you see Flynn running out of this room, black eye, blood dripping from his mouth. He's beat up.
Hey, man!
Looks like you've seen some great challenges behind you, my little friend.
It wasn't a problem. I took care of it without a problem. I'll look around. Is Chath or anyone else out there?
No, just Shraya.
Yeah, man. And I'll cough a little bit. I'm good, man. Yeah, it was super easy, man.
Here, let us commence into the courtyard. Perhaps I can help what ails you. Here, have a berry. I saved one.
Okay. I'll take a bite of the berry. Whew. Oh man. Yeah, that helped. What'd you get up to?
I've been focusing all of my energy on this.
And I hold up have I gleaned
Of
anything
which
about
you
this?
now know what it is. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to send you this item's description. You may disclose what it is. You don't have to disclose what it is. It is totally up to you.
Amazing.
I'm going to send this to you right now.
Tell us.
I was getting V worried
Okay.
for a second.
Depends on how shiny these.
Just let me know if you got that.
Oh, I got that.
Oh, no.
Okay, nice. Okay. As you guys head back out into the courtyard, Shraya, now having an understanding of what this object is, would you like to tell Flynn about it, or do you want to keep it by yourself?
I've noticed certain things about it that have deepened my understanding of the earth, her beings, and where we go once we leave the earth. I'm very excited to see how it might impact my understanding of the things we do as we move forward.
I'll be honest, man. I don't know what any of that means. I kind of feel like I could use a nap.
Sure. Well, perhaps I can demonstrate it the next time we come into an opportunity. We can see it firsthand.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very good about what I can do with it now. I think it will be a great help.
Oh, hey, check this out. And I'll take my sword. I'll just chuck it across the room.
Whoa!
Oh wait, no, that's not it. No, try it. Look.
Oh!
And I'll focus, and I'll summon the sword back to my hand.
And it
Ah,
bursts into your hand with a puff of green smoke.
Cool, huh?
that's quite a trick.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
congratulations on remaining alive. It looks like you had to go through quite a few trials since we last
Ye-
saw each other.
yeah, it was a lot, but I made it.
Here, let's take a little bit of time, rest in the courtyard. Perhaps there are some of your compatriots who might want to see you now that you're clearly in one piece.
Yeah. Where's Chath at?
I'm not sure. He left quite a while ago.
Okay. Yeah, let's just hang out here for a bit.
All right.
And I'll just chill and
All
take a
right.
short rest.
As you
potentially.
guys chill out there, Olma, Ceallach, and March, you guys are now deep within the heart of the Temple District. Do you guys have anywhere specifically that you would like to head?
Ceallach,
Or anything you're looking for?
do you know which one we should be going to? Are there a lot of temples here? DM, are there a lot of temples here?
Yeah, there are temples left, right, and center. You enter this district, and you can see everywhere the iconography of the old gods. Through here, it's pretty diverse in the gods that they worship of the old gods, but with a heavy lean towards Famir.
Okay. Ceallach, do you know if there's one temple or god who might know Abyssal more than the others?
Well, Atir might be the one who would, he's sort of a keeper of knowledge, although he can be a little, shaky as far as, he can be a little bit nebulous, if you will. But I think that might be your best bet if there's one to him. He's an old dwarven man in his presentation, so look for directions of that sort on the outside of the building. And
Great.
I can sort of point her to the one. Yes, DM. Would I know of which one it's here?
Yeah, you would know all of the temples around here.
And
yeah,
that's correct, right? That Atir would probably be the one most linguistically inclined.
probably. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Okay.
Unless there's one that is a tiefling.
There is not.
There is not.
So, Olma, you walk up to this temple. Again, a very nice white stone building, and it's got accents of red wood all over it. This one seems to be sort of taller and skinnier in construction, whereas the other ones seem to be a little bit wider at the base. You walk in, and it's pretty much a library in here. You can see tables lining the sides where you can see people in robes, not giving sermons, but giving lectures on how to craft intricate little technologies and working with sort of like mechanical clockwork elements. And you can see that there's one head priest at the front of this temple who is scribbling furiously in his notes. You can see behind him plans and blueprints for some vast machinery. And you're sort of overtaken by the books and all the technology that's going on in here.
Wow. And I'm alone, right? I came in alone?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to walk up to the man scribbling and look at the blueprints. What do I see?
You can make a straight intelligence check for me.
Ooh, really good. 21.
21. You see him scribbling into his notes. It looks like a machine that would be able to better optimize farming and crop collection. And he looks up at you as you approach, and he goes, "Oh, hello."
Hi. And I'm not even looking at, I'm still looking at the blueprints.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm hoping it will be.
How big is it going to be?
Oh, it's probably going to be about the size of a house by the time I'm
Wow.
done with it.
Wow. That's so cool.
Thank you. Can I help you with something?
Oh, right. Yes, you can. I was traveling with some friends and came across an inscription that I couldn't read. And I was hoping maybe because you guys are so intelligent here and you've got so many books, maybe you could help me read it or point me in the right direction.
Oh, yes. That's something that I can definitely do. There's rarely a language that I don't know. If you want to come back to my study with me, we can discern exactly what this is. I just I'm sort of in the middle of my process here, so I don't want to disturb the flow of my thoughts up here.
Oh, sure, that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. I'm also would you mind if I brought my assistant? I don't know how delicate this is, but my assistant is sort of a linguist herself, and I'm hoping that I can teach her some things here and there where I can.
Sure, yeah. Hi, I'm Olma.
My name is Vincent, by the way. I'm sorry I didn't ask your name. My name is Vincent Ratley. I am the head of this church to Atir, and I'm the head here.
Hi, head. And your assistant?
Oh, she's actually coming over right now. Her name is Rory. Rory Rorsk.
That's a fun name.
Oh, it is. Part of the reason that I took her on as my apprentice. Now I get to say it all the time.
My name. My last name is Marsk, and so it's kind of similar.
Oh, look at that.
Anyway.
Okay. And you can see his assistant approaches. She's got like 10 books in her hands. This is like they're leaning, and she's trying to maneuver around people without knocking these books and these papers over.
Are they both human?
They are both human. Yes. Pretty much everyone that you've seen in this whole city so far has been human. Like 99% of people.
Thanks so much, Vincent. I appreciate your help.
You're welcome. Any opportunity for knowledge I can get. So yeah, if you would like to join me, and they go back into sort of this little back room area, and you can see as you approach, it looks like a private study. So,
More books.
More books. But these ones are like thick, and you can see looking around, they've got loose pieces of paper coming out of them, probably lots of notes taken in these books.
Mm-hmm.
But then he sits down at his desk, and he ushers Rory to pull up a chair next to him, and he says, all right, what would I be able to translate for you?
So I said we were traveling, and we came across this graveyard, and this was written there, and most of everything I could read, but I couldn't read this, and I know that the town around the graveyard was having some trouble recently. Not anymore. They're okay now. But I just figured maybe this would help them so that in the future it doesn't happen again.
I applaud your noble pursuit. Yeah, if I can see the writing, I would be able to translate it for you.
I pull out of my the pouch of my pants. I pull out the folded piece of paper that we've highlighted the words in, the shaded the words in from the wall of the tomb, and I hand it to him to read.
Okay. As you hand it to him, it's still sort of folded up. He hasn't really looked at it fully yet, and he said, "Now, I just curious as to what your level of knowledge is. Do you know anything about this?"
About the scribbles?
Yes.
I mean the language? I don't speak that language, so no, I don't know anything about it.
Oh, okay. Would you like to learn? I can teach you.
How to read it?
At least what this says here. I can sort of I enjoy teaching people. That's why we have Rory here is I enjoy teaching. So
Yeah,
if you would like to. Okay. And he unfolds it, and immediately his eyes go wide. And he says, "Oh, maybe not. Where did you say you got this from?"
It was from a graveyard.
A graveyard. Okay. Has anyone else seen this?
Anyone else like who?
Anyone that you've shown this to? Anyone who was also there at the graveyard?
Just me.
Just you. Okay. Well, first off, this is a very old dialect. This is written in Infernal.
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 Can I insight check, because we thought it was written in Abyssal?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh shit!
Natural 20!
Woo!
For sure, this is Infernal.
Okay.
And he says, yes, this is infernal. And he actually says, infernal. The old dialect is often mistaken for abyssal, as they are very similar in structure. But this is very definitively infernal, and this is a very dangerous language to know. I would caution you of the people that you show this to. But if you would still like me to read it, I can.
Please, because we don't want any more problems to happen for our friends.
And he sort of pulls it over in between him and Rory, and you can see he takes out his quill, and Rory takes out her notebook, and he sort of takes some notes in the translation, and it takes about a minute. And he says, it's not a perfect translation, but I think I got the general nature of it. It says, in death as in life, I shall serve the outcast. May my end be the beginning. And then I see down here below, you also scribbled something else here. It seems to be sort of the same part as the larger, but this one down here just says, in death as in life, I shall serve the outcast.
In death as in life, I shall serve the outcast. And then the second part of that?
May my end be the beginning. And with that, we're going to end this session.
Oh, snap.
We're going to end it right there.
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
So much
Man.
All right. So with that, we're going to end this session. And we can't wait to see you guys all again next week. Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Bye. Peace, nerd.
Goodbye.
Hey, this is Russ, and I play Flynn on Venture Forth. Thank you for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at VentureForthDND for updates and previews of upcoming episodes. Also, check out our Patreon if you want to support us and get cool perks, like building a custom monster with the DM to throw at us. Thank you again for listening to this episode. I really do hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next adventure.